I truly feel like this is the year that it is all going to come together for you. I strongly believe that. Maybe it's the fact that today is January 1st. Maybe it's the fact that I was out in nature, and after having some hard conversations with myself, with others, I've come to realize that I've been holding back when it comes to creating content, when it comes to chasing my dreams and pursuing the things that are important to me, which makes no sense because every time I sit down to record a YouTube video or I edit or I talk about YouTube or I watch other YouTube videos, I just get warm and fuzzy inside. And it's been like that for a long time. I used to come home and watch YouTube right out of classes. I can even say university, high school. I would get home. The first thing I would do is turn on YouTube, not even TV. I found my favorite creators over the years. As of right now, my revelation to myself was create the kind of content that you like to see. And that's the first point of this video, and I'm going to share that with you. When it comes to becoming a full-time creator or becoming a paid creator in whatever capacity you want, you have to create content that aligns with you. So think about this. A lot of us, when starting our content creation journey, we create from a place of lack. We create because we want a reward. At least I can speak about myself. I wanted to create certain videos because they were popular, just point blank, period, right? I was like, yeah, that category is popular, so makeup or hair or fashion, like that's popular, let me just create those videos. I like those things, but it makes no sense that I will solely create fashion videos, solely create makeup videos. The kind of videos that I like to watch is the videos where people share their perspectives, their real life perspectives, share how they have overcome certain things, share their likes, their dislikes, where do we eat, where do we travel to, when you go there, this is what you look out for, this is what you don't look out for. When it comes to fitness, like these exercises target this, or this is the type of food you should eat if this. Like, why am I not creating the content that I consume and not necessarily copying that content, but also sharing my perspective on those things? And I think that is the gap that I've been missing for the longest, creating from a point of lack where I'm like, okay, well, this person creates those types of videos and they're successful, so like, let me do the same thing. My lane, their lane is going to be completely different. Your lane and someone else's lane is going to be completely different. And when you create or when you do anything with intention, that's when the abundance comes. That's when the money, the recognition, the good feeling, the feeling like you're in your purpose, it aligns the most when you create out of wanting to without reward. For me, I'm on this journey to improve myself, to heal, to really become that high version of myself. Basically, I created an avatar, and I've spoken about this in a previous video. I'll leave it right here so you all know which one I'm referring to. But we talk about our mind, our body, and just our soul, our spirit. And not to get too deep or too woo-woo, but I do believe working on those three things every single day is the key to success, is the key to rebranding yourself, essentially. Your success, your reward will come. If you're someone who wants to become a content creator to replace their 9 to 5 income, that's fine. If you're someone that wants to create just to challenge yourself and learn to edit, if you're someone that just wants to document your life, there's no right or wrong to this, but I do think that in order for you to get the results, in order for you to be successful, you have to, one, decide that it's going to happen. And that can be kind of tricky because I've been on YouTube for a while and I've had quite the journey. There's so many videos that are archived, but I can honestly say when I created videos where I was going through something, whether it's transitioning, moving, or finding out something about myself, or like spirituality, or just friendships, those are the videos that actually do the best. And I was just never consistent in that. Consistency, consistency, consistency. When we talk about success being a choice, It is basically you saying, like, this is mine, whatever the goal is. So maybe you're just getting started, let's say on YouTube, and you're like, I want to get to 1,000 subscribers. You've made a choice. You're going to get to 1,000 subscribers. What do you have to do? You have to consistently show up. What does consistency look like for you? Is it once a week? Is it twice a week, 3 times a week? Is it once a month? Understand that different consistency levels will get you different results. And that's the same thing for me. I can post a video, it do really well, and I can get 30 subscribers, 20 subscribers, whatever the case is, and that's great. But then I don't show up for like 2, 3 more weeks, a month. You're slowing your progress down, right? I'm slowing my progress down, and that's something I want to pass on to you. Like, do not slow down your progress. Like, it's time for us to mash gas, okay? It's 2025, it's a new year. And to be transparent, I feel like I've been doing a lot of the work behind the scenes for the past couple of months. So that's showing up in my relationships, that's tapping into my fitness journey, different foods, different methods. I even started to eat like according to my blood type, which is like a whole intricate thing. But I didn't wait for January 1st, but there's something about this year, or just hitting reset and knowing that we're in a new year, that is giving me a little bit of drive. It's hyping me up on the low. So hence why this video is here, and it's January 1st. Hopefully you all see this video within the next couple of days, because I am not playing around. I did not come to play this year. All that to say, don't play around with yourself. Don't play around with your skills. Don't play around with your time. Don't play around with your energy, especially if you're someone who constantly gets asked for advice as to how to do something. You know, there's so many of us that have the skills, the talents, and we're just sitting on them because we're scared to show up in the world. But if you want to be a paid creator this year, and I'm not just talking about content creation, I'm talking about art, I'm talking about music, in whatever capacity, understand that the sky is the limit. And I often talk about this example about abundance, right? To me, abundance is all encompassing. It's really like how you would plant a seed, a tree grows, or flower grows. You're the same thing. The fact that the sky is blue, the fact that we experience seasons in different parts of the earth, it can be nighttime here, daytime somewhere else. Everything is just abundant. If we would just understand that we are not just our circumstance, we are not just our everyday, what you're seeing. Like, there's so much world, so much to experience. And I'm just tapping into that, and I genuinely feel that now, where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I really allowed everyday situations to cripple me to forget that I can change my life at any moment. And I've done it many times, but depending on who you hang around, depending on your environment, you can easily forget that. But I'm here to remind you, what do you want out of your creative journey? Do you want to start on Instagram? Do you want to start on YouTube? Do you want to sell products, physical products, digital products? I will never tell anyone what to do when it comes to that. Like, you have to know yourself, or you have to be willing to experiment with something for a while, not just like posting on Instagram for a week. Oh, you're not getting followers, you're not getting recognition, and then you stop. I'm talking about picking something for 6 months to a year, committing, showing up, adjusting. When you see good results in one post or one video, recreating that or remixing that. We have to take accountability. And I'm not here to point fingers or blame anyone, but I can only speak about myself, where like I kind of dropped the ball. I dropped the ball in 2024. I had my goal the year before to hit 1,000 subscribers at a particular time, and I did it. And then I was just like, oh, what will be will be. Like, life happened, but I really was not intentional. And like, we're not doing that. Think about this, right? When it comes to your ideal community, whatever that looks like for you, whoever that looks like for you, I have an idea. In my mind, I've decided that I want my community to be men and women, but mostly women who are centered around becoming the best version of themselves, healing from generational trauma to societal trauma. Men and women who want to step outside of the box, that don't like to be put in a box, men and women who want to challenge themselves, who understand that, like, hey, things happen, the good, the bad, but how do we move forward? Like, what are different coping mechanisms that we can share with each other that are healthy? Our fitness and what we put into our body, like me sharing tips about what I'm learning, you sharing tips with me about what you're learning, different stores, restaurants, like travel tips. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want my community to be about. In order to have a community like that, you need to be that person, and you need to show up and show that you are that person. When it comes to showing up in the world, whether it's digital through Instagram, through TikTok, through YouTube, through a podcast, or through your art, through your clothing, your boutique, whatever the case is, like, when it comes to showing up, you have to understand that, like, there's somebody out there that's waiting to see what you have, that needs to hear what you have to say, that wants to see someone that looks like them in the world. And there's like, what, 7 billion people or something like that on this earth. Your ideal target audience may not be in your state, in your city. It may be someone or people across the world. Like, that's the point of being online, where you have access to millions of people, just different people. You will find your tribe. I know I'm going to find my tribe. And I've already seen the dynamics change. Like, you can look at analytics and I'm like, oh, it's more women than men. We're kind of like in the same age group. The demographic, it was all like United States, and then it shift to like Caribbean and shift to Europe. So I'm just like, oh, this is kind of cool. And like, I'm a tiny creator, but we're not going to be tiny forever. That's another point to this video, like setting yourself up for success, whether that's trying to change your environment if you can. So that's relocating, that's shifting, that's preparing essentially. The second thing is setting boundaries. There are certain people in my life that have qualities that are not necessarily the best, and it's no fault of theirs, right? I'm learning, I'm trying to become more self-aware, but through doing that, you realize that there's some people that could possibly just be distractions in your life, or there are certain situations that are distracting for you, right? That will stop you from creating or being your most productive self. So you have to readjust in order not to tempt yourself, or in order not to have yourself be in a situation where you're not successful. Like I said, hard conversations, had to do it with myself, and I'm doing it with you. The third thing I realized about myself is I need to get more organized. I have ADHD, and I'm not afraid to admit it. It was a late diagnosis, but I've always had issues with attention. It is my superpower in some senses, where I can talk to anyone about anything. I am able to pivot really quickly. I adapt really fast. But when it comes to creating content or having my particular end goal, I need to write everything down. And I've spoken about this before, but I need to go back to the basics, and I have been going back to the basics, where I am scheduling out my day down to the T. I also use Notion. Hopefully I'll be able to put a screen recording up of this Notion template that I found, where it lays out all of the tasks that you have to do for the day, as well as the whole calendar. It shows you what you have planned for every day in that specific month. You have your tasks for the week, like on the left hand side. And like, you have timelines where you can put projects or basically tasks that you want to complete. But now I need to go back to monthly, weekly, daily, just giving myself little bite-sized things to do. And when it comes to being a paid creator, or when it comes to even starting your content creation or your business, when it comes to starting that journey, you have to give yourself little bite-sized tasks to do. At least when it comes to setting up a business digitally, the first thing is to post online, to build your community, to show up online, whatever platform that you choose. Preferably, I say YouTube, just because you do get paid from AdSense, as well as brand deals, as well as you're able to filter people to your product or service. The second thing you're going to need is to have a payment processing website. I use Stan Store, and essentially you're able to put your product, your service up. People are able to pay you. That goes straight into your account. I think it's, as of right now, $29. It depends on what plan you choose. There are some free options, obviously. There's like Beacons AI. There's a lot. And essentially, you post on YouTube, you post on Threads, you post on Instagram. You have this payment processor that has all your services, that has your product. And then the third thing is just like we spoke about, the consistency, being strategic, planning, paying attention to trends, as well as staying true to you, your avatar, what that looks like in terms of, you said you want to post about fitness, you want to post about food and travel, then staying true to those three pillars, but having fun and like not taking it so seriously. Like right now, I'm literally sitting on the floor in a meditative state because I just wanted to turn the camera on. Usually, I would put so much pressure on myself to like set up by like the desk or like do this, do that. Like we're not doing that. We're just talking. We're just talking, we're just showing up, we're just turning the camera on. And like that's where I'm at, because if I start to overthink, I will never hit my goals. And that's what I'm passing on to you. Like, stop overthinking. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's plan, but also be flexible in our plan. Let's also observe. We're posting consistently, whatever that looks like for us, what's doing well, or we're seeing some traction. We remix that. We don't put ourselves in a box. We have our website, or like I said, our payment processing platform. We're creating products. We're taking the steps to start our business, or we're just posting for fun. We're learning, we're growing, we're doing our research, but we're not getting stuck in research stage. Okay, we're doing the research, but we're putting some action in there. We're also watching other creators, but not comparing. Like that's a thing too. When it comes to being a creator, if we want to see real results, at least this is what I'm telling myself. You cannot compare yourself to someone that started like 10 years ago. That makes absolutely no sense. And I don't know what in like my mind or the mind of others, I'm sure, allows us to do that. You're just like, oh my gosh, she has the camera, the lights, this aesthetic apartment. And it's just like, honey, how the heck are we going to compare ourselves to someone that's been in the game, that's had their trials, their errors, like that's learned, that's studied? How are you going to compare yourself to someone like that? That makes absolutely no sense. And then you're basically going to dim your light, or you're going to rob us of your creativity, of your greatness, because you're afraid, or you feel like you need to have everything together, or you need to get all of these things, and then you start. By that time, all of your ideas, I might find that somewhere else. I might start watching another creator when I could be watching you. So I don't know. I don't know who needs to hear that. It's just a thought, a conversation I had with myself. Like, success is a choice. It's deciding that no matter how long, no matter what I have to do, this end goal or this thing, whatever that looks like for you, it is going to be yours. But it may not be overnight. And like, that's a hard pill to swallow. Every single time I try to do something traditional, like right now, after being unemployed for a while, kind of doing like some freelancing and consulting, like I'm actually in a 9 to 5 structure, right? And I'm miserable. Just being transparent, just keeping it real. The structure does not sit well with me. I don't like the fact that someone can tell me when to take a break, when to eat. I mean, down to when to use the bathroom, because that's a whole nother story within itself. Yeah, I just don't want to get into that today, but that just does not sit well with me. That being said, the other solution is to work for myself. The other solution is to strengthen my streams of income to where I can then make a decision at some point which direction I want to go in. Keep climbing or pivot. If you're a girly or if you're a guy that can relate, that's the advantage that we have, is we can be employed somewhere else and we can build something on the side as long as it doesn't, clash or anything. But you have that freedom to create your ideal reality. If your ideal reality is to be a paid creator and full time, that's what you want to do, whatever that looks like, you can have that. If you want to be paid part time, if you can do that. If you just want to show up and have fun and have an outlet, you can do that. If you want to do all three or two, like, you can do that also. There is no stopping you unless you stop yourself. And you stop yourself by not creating, by not starting, by not putting all of the garbage out. Because there's some videos that I have, they're not the best, right? Because I'm still learning, I'm still growing. And that's the same thing, like the same thing for you. You're going to have to put some crummy stuff out. It's gonna be not so good, but like it will get better. For me, I just want to continue to grow my community. I want to continue to challenge myself, try some new editing stuff, upgrade my equipment, kind of document my life. That's one of my main goals this year, is to document my life. I want to be able to look back and see how far I've come, see what's changed, see what I can improve on. And I'm just choosing to put it online, at least some aspects of it online. So, I want to talk a little bit about like personal goals, like traveling, career, and all of that in another video. But I just wanted to get on here and confirm, like, we're going to be paid creators this year. And it can either replace, it can be an additional. We're going to grow our skills. We just have to decide that that's what's going to happen. Decide. That's it. It's that simple. Just decide. Forget about who says you can do it, who says you can't, who's supporting you, who's not supporting you. I'll support you. Comment down below, like, what are some of your creative goals, and we can start a conversation. Follow me on Instagram. I do plan on posting more over there, but for right now, you can just DM me because I'll be able to talk with you like one-on-one. But what are some of your goals? What are the steps you're taking? Are you getting organized? Are you going to invest in some equipment? Are you just going to start with your iPhone, which is totally fine? Do you think you've been the person that had all of the excuses, or have things like genuinely not worked out? Do you not know where to start? Are we in the brainstorming phase? Like, I want to hear all about it in the comments, in the DMs. But I'm signing off, sending love, light, all that good stuff, good energy, good vibes. All right.